First email. Okay. And for Best Achiever Award distribution will be distributed by Ahsan Uncle and Mohan Nabi. Where is Asma?
Adina, where's Asma?
Everybody wants to go at one their meeting, right? So we got just one.
Sure.
Siddiq sir से बात करनी है.
Okay.
He घर में join कर लिया.
Okay.
So we're just not gonna wait. We're gonna start, and
Sure.
then he can join us.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Yep.
So स्पीच बाद आरिफ भाई के बाद जो है मैं आपको बेस्ट अचीवर्स के इसमें से दे दूँगा. सही?
Sure. Ahmed, do you want to wear this too? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining our Learning to Code ceremony and awards presentation. Alhamdulillah, this program has been on the roadmap for quite some time. So without stealing any of our presenters' thunder in terms of acknowledgements and thank yous, I do want to say up front a very special thank you on behalf of the Shura. A thank you to the students and to their parents for making this possible. Learning to code is not just programming. It is learning to build. It is learning to make your dreams a reality. Many of our youngsters here, many of the youth have read, probably, rightfully or wrongfully, idolize the founders, the YouTube creators. Even just yesterday, apparently, in your very class, there was a YouTube creator who denies being a creator. Very well. Apparently, he has a doppelganger, a twin, but with 2 million followers. Now, according to a recent study, a lot of the youth in North America, I'm not talking about elsewhere, I'm talking about here, where we live, apparently idolize YouTube creators and see that as a feasible job, see that as an actual career. 1 in 4 youth see being a YouTube creator as an actual job. I'm not going to say something that an old person would say and say, oh, geez, times have changed. No, I'm not that old yet. But I will say, coming back full circle to the power and the promise and the potential of programming, that congratulations to the inaugural class of 2022 for the Learning to Code program. You have set the foundation for yourselves onto a brighter and better future. You are all now builders in your own right. You can become founders of your own tech startups. You can become a programmer. You can ultimately code. Why? Think of it. Where are we? We are in a masjid. We are in a mosque. What does this mean? It means for any girl who is wearing a hijab. It means for any young Muslim male who is rocking the beard, that representation matters. Ask your parents. They might already be in the IT space. Representation at all levels matter. Whether your parents are already a director, a VP, president, or a CEO, for a Muslima, CEO of a tech company, or of an analytics company, or of a healthcare company, it matters. for a Muslim male, youngster, again, growing the beard, wearing the beard, the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Again, we are here in a masjid. Why am I going at length explaining this? Representation matters. It matters here in Canada as it does everywhere else in the world. So again, without further ado, I want to switch gears now and proceed to the start of the program. And as with any program, we always start our programs with the Khirat of the Holy Quran, and that will be done by Hafiz Numair. Hafiz Numair, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولقد آتينا موسى الكتاب فاختلف فيه ولولا كلمة سبقت من ربك لقضي بينهم وإنهم لفي شك منه مريب من عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها وما ربك بظلام للعبيد صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, Hafiz Numair. Now, I'm about to call up to the stage Brother Arif Ali. He is the course director of this program. Oh, I think I see a family member going, yes. So, alhamdulillah, we can all give a round of applause. Yes, clapping is allowed in the masjid, unless that is if Imam Nabil says it's not. But let's allow it for this one time. Yes. Oh, there you go. Imam Nabil himself started the clapping. All right. Excellent. So we're about to now call up with fanfare and applause Brother Arif Ali, the course director of the Learn2Code program. Arif Ali.
Thank you, Sagway.
Assalamu
Well, I just see where President Siddiqui Saab are joining as well. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone today for joining the very first batch of NDI Learn2Code. You know, it all started with like summer camp, but then we, kind of thinking how we can offer more and more and engage to a level which set our youth to their high school credits, and in the meantime engage them and bring their potential to a level that they can think that, what they want to do. What they want to do in terms of technology, what could be the use of their skill set. So it's kind of interesting. We kind of said, all right, let's do the two programs together, and we put a Python plus web content together, and mashallah, it turned out to be a great success. When I see that all the participants, they were not missing a single class. And so the credit goes back to the teachers and to you guys all, the students and the parents. So I really like to have a applause for all the students and the teachers for their hard work. it's amazing to see so much interest. We have this program to 20 students, but I can tell you about so many calls that people were interested in joining, but just to keep the quality and the content and keep that relationship between the teachers and the students to an uplift level, we kept that number, and mashallah, the results are in front of you. So we thought we should celebrate this little program we completed with a lot of things which we have learned together. So there's no, winner or loser. It's all we learned something. And as an organization, as an MPI, over mandate, over core vision, which is one of them as a community service, alongside with education and religious obligation, is to bring over youth together here in the masjid. So the timing we set it up in a way that, mashallah, at the end of every class, all the students have the opportunity to pray Zuhr in Jamaat, and then they can go. So that was the one little thing we tried to catch with the timing, so the students can benefit not only the first morning with the technology, the closure with the Zuhr Salah, and then they can go home. So this program needs a lot of commitment especially from the teachers, and then to really over interns for summer jobs who did a great job. Brother Ahmed and Brother Adam, they did a really great job putting the content together, making sure that all the content is available on Google Classroom. We use pretty much the same platform which the operations board uses, so the students are very familiar, and all the assignments, we kept that transparency, and then one thing which coding brings is the teamwork. Everybody thinks coding is, or IT work is so much in isolation. I know one thing, I'm going to keep doing, and I will deliver a product. I'm an IT discipline myself, I know that doesn't work this way. Too many people work together, too many technology integrate, and then we deliver something as a solution. So, mashallah, in the end, we did little exercises, little assignments, bringing them into groups so they can learn the teamwork and deliver something. So, thank you so much, those two individuals, the MPI team who led us on this program, mashallah, the management, in terms of providing us the best facility, over boardroom for students to have that, the best atmosphere for conducting their classes, and to the parents, to the students for their interest and making it such a successful program. Thank you.
All right, next up we have the actual distribution of awards. I have a number of certificates here, and that will be done by our very own Imam Muhammad Nabil, and also by Brother Ehsan as well. So if you can please, both of you could come up to the stage, and we'll continue with our program in terms of handing out the certificates. Okay. Are these in any particular order? First, second, third? Which one is first? Which one is first, second, third?
Ibrahim,
Uh-huh.
then Quraysh, then Afan, or Asma, right?
Okay. All right. So in terms of classroom standings, we did want to put a little bit of a real world aspect to this. And there is a first, second, and third place winner. But because we wanted to recognize as many contributors and students in the class, we also have a fourth place winner as well, a very special award which we'll hand out at the end. So the first place in terms of outstanding achievement, coding for both web development and the actual programming aspect, Python programming, has been awarded to Ibrahim Junaid. Now, hopefully for the second batch, for the second intake next year, we can have a podium as well. We'll do that. We'll just take note of that. For the second place achiever, we have, and forgive me if I butcher the pronunciation, Khurush Nasser Siddiqui.
Just 12 years, 14 years allowed थे, लेकिन उसको बहुत अच्छा ये हुआ.
Now, Hafiz Ahmed has just mentioned to me that Khurush here is only 12 years old. The cutoff for our program was 14, but because of his exceptional talent, aptitude, and attitude, he fully deserves the right and placement of second place winner. Congratulations, Khurush. Now, in terms of a third place achievement, apparently, from what some members of the class have told me, and I've actually heard this as I was standing out the masalla, just putting on my sandals, a team was actually named after this student, a full team. Usually teams are named, Team Rockets, Team Hornets. If you go to Bill Hogarth, their mascot is the Hornets. But no, this team actually decided to name itself after this very student. So I guess this must be quite the student. Afan Qureshi has been recognized as our third place achiever for the Learn2Code program. Go team Afan Qureshi. Now, as we mentioned, in the medals, in the Olympics, you only get 3 chances. Gold, silver, and bronze. But this is not the Olympics. We could have placed this as the Python Olympics, the Tech Olympics, the Learn2Code Olympics. No, this is not that. This is the Learn2Code program. And with that, we wanted to recognize our 4th place achiever in terms of outstanding skill, aptitude, and attitude towards web development and Python programming. And that goes to Asma Shams. Asma, please come up to the stage. And now, as I alluded to earlier, some of the parents, and I hope definitely some of our students here, are well aware of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. That is not just an acronym. It is a new approach to learning, especially in our high schools and in our universities, specifically geared towards our female cohorts. Our daughters need to be involved in engineering, in technology, in IT, in math. Not just the very stereotypical, at least the way I grew up in the 80s here in Mississauga, was, oh, Beka, you have to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. Those were the very 3 typical Desi responses, at least from my parents growing up. But no, today, and I think this is the right place where, even as I grow older with my graying beard, I say times have changed. This is exactly the approach we need to take. This is the approach where we have to enable and empower our daughters, sisters, and yes, even mothers, to take a stance and to become active participants in these communities, in science, technology, engineering, and math. And I will say, there will be a lot of resistance. You will face a lot of sexism. You will face discrimination for wearing the hijab. But this is just a part of life. You have the masjid that fosters values, that gives you strength, that gives you resilience. Hold on to the masjid. Hold on to these values. Now, that all being said, I'd like to call up to the stage Alishba Qureshi to give a few words on the power of programming and the power of girls. Alishba.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Elizabeth Rashid, and I took part in the Learn2Code programming fundamentals course. Getting into this course, I really had no knowledge about Python, HTML, or CSS. Those are the three main languages that we discussed and learned about in this course. So after this course, I had so much knowledge about them, and I know like basic stuff compared to what I didn't know before. Python is really good for machine learning and AI, and Python is such a broad programming language. You can do a lot with it, and we focused a lot on Python as well. HTML is for web development. Nowadays everyone is like using websites. You can get your information from news from websites. So those websites are designed by HTML code. So now that I know it, I can make my own websites. And CSS is used to design those websites. So for the difficulty level of this course, I feel like anyone my age can do this course. It was really simple and easy to learn. We had assignments, and some of them might have taken time to complete, but through trial and error, anyone really could have done them. Everyone in the class was capable of doing them if they really tried. So overall, this course was really good for me. I learned a lot because I didn't have much knowledge of all this stuff before. And I recommend it to anyone. If there's a more advanced course coming in the future, I hope to join it because this course was really good to learn about programming. Thank you.
Alishba, apologies. I think I mentioned Qureshi. In fact, the last name is Khurshid. Alishba Khurshid. Thank you, Sister Alishba Khurshid. Now we have the winners and runner-up award distribution by Adan and Najmal. Najm uncle, is that still up? Okay. Now I'd like to call up to the stage Dr. Najmal Siddiqui. For those of you who do not know him, he is the president of the Masjid and of the Islamic Center of Markham. He is probably the most humble man you will ever meet, at least the most humble man I've met in my lifetime. I think he's since taken down the pictures of him with President Clinton and President Obama. He has been to Washington many times. He's been part of technology leadership councils prior to retirement. And he's been the co-inventor and co-founder of the V-chip, which is part of the microchip that went in all our converter set-top TV boxes for the PG rating systems. You know, rated R, PG, and I think there was rated R13 for the TVs back in the day. So, quite the technology pioneer. Without further ado, I'd like to call up to the stage Dr. Najmal Siddiqui and also change in plan, Brother Arif Ali.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Adam, and I was one of the teachers here at Learn2Code Bootcamp. So before we actually go the awards and certificates, I'll give a quick recap of what we actually learned in the camp and what we finished with. So from the beginning, we were learning the actual scratch. So we learned rows of Python, of how to do certain things. If this happens, what happens after that? And simple addition, subtraction. And then we move on to actual Python aspect, and more after that. for loops, while loops, different kind of coding aspects. And then from my part, about the development part, we learned about the HTML, CSS, how to design a website, how to construct a website from scratch. On the first day, actually, I made everyone have a certain code structure, and everyone was able to make their first ever website from that. And everyone was very happy about that. And then finally, we finished off with our speed programming competition. So in that competition, we had a set of problems given to 7 teams, and they had to work together to finish those problems, to solve those problems at the highest pace they could. And with every competition, there's winners, there's losers, but I think everyone put all their all into it, and that was really, really impressive out of it. So without further ado, it's on the winners to the stage. Right, the runners first. So, can team 3 others on the stage, please? 3 others.
There you go, man. Congrats. Congrats. Congrats.
Now, it's the actual winners of the competition. I'd like to call on Windy Coders, 2 Windy Coders.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. What was the name of your team again? Wind Decoders? Yeah.
Marshall's team really succeeded. Really actually 2 on 3. I saw that one of them was doing logic, one of them was actually coding on the computer, the other one was helping figure out problems. So it was really impressive to see those 3 children under 18, all under 18, work together at a high scale like that. So,
So I guess this would be appropriate, maybe not, to mention what happens when 3 alus and some wind decoders walk into a masjid. If any of you know the joke, it's different, but I'll just leave it at that. I should at least some of the people laughing, so it's okay. I'll keep my comedy routine. I'll stick to my day job, as they say. So now, with regards to teachers, the instructors, no program would be a good program without a good, if not great, set of teachers and instructors. So I'd like to give, again, Dr. Najmal Siddiqui the opportunity to come up again. Sorry, Uncle, should have kept you up here. We'll also give him a chance to say the closing remarks as well. But we do want to recognize our teachers. Teachers are core to any learning institution, program, or course. So with that, I know two of the teachers already, Adan and Hafiz Ahmed. So we'll, plaques are down here. My apologies. We could go by alphabetical order. So we'll start with the letter A. I'd like to call to the stage Mr. Adan Sheikh. And now, I'd also like to call to the stage Mr. Syed Ahmed Ali Nakhvi. Hafiz Ahmed. Oh. I've had as all award ceremonies go, sometimes things happen off the cuff and you get special requests from the audience. So I've had a special request from our course director, Brother Arif, to actually have a few words by our very soft-spoken Hafiz Ahmed here. Sorry, Ahmed, it's a special request. You can't turn these things down. Please, a few words.
Good experience at Learn2Code. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Arif Sheikh that उन्होंने जो है इस प्रोग्राम को सबसे पहले अप्रूव करा and he helped me a lot to pitching my program to the board directors and other members. Also, after that, I would like to thank the person that without him this course cannot be possible. Okay, that like Arishma said and other members said that on the first day they built their own website. Okay, they write the code. So everyone, I think so 70 to 80% have their errors. Okay, writing the first code even in HTML or in web. But I would like to thank for being a debugger in my class and also to solve every problem which I face in the class. So I would like to thank Mr. Adan Sheikh that without him anything cannot be possible. Okay, so and after that, I would like to thank, I would like to appreciate some students which get some award, medals, anything. That we started our class now 22, but the last attendance was 17 or like 19. So many students which were of 26, okay, they were age greater than 20, but they quit. They said we हमें समझ में नहीं आया. But mashallah, we also have a student whose age is less than 40. He is young. Okay, I would like to appreciate him and please after that, take the time. We try his best to do every assignment, to do every quiz, to do the game. So I appreciate his steadfastness कि वो जमा रखे भाई मुझे ये काम करना है. और also this is a part of being rules. This is a part of life. So the one जिनको जो है award नहीं मिल पाया या कोई इनाम नहीं मिल पाया. So this is not the end. Okay, whatever you have learned. So inshallah हमारी ख्वाहिश है कि आप इसको जो है आगे implement करेंगे. और like I am graduate of university. The people like तो हमारी university में जो कि like जिनके grades बहुत कम आते थे, सही है, जिनके grades बहुत अच्छे आते थे वो किसी अच्छी जगह job कर रहे हैं. But the weird thing is that जिनके grades कम आते थे they had their own startups. Okay, so nothing is the end. You can start, you can implement. Okay, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Hafiz Ahmed. Now, was anybody recording that? Because I think in the crowd, in our audience, we already have Rayan, our future Bill Gates here, apparently, as was foretold by Hafiz Ahmed. I'm just putting it out there. Rayan, keep going. All right, now in terms of the closing, before I hand the final closing remarks back to Dr. Najmal Siddiqui, again, I just want to thank you all, A, for coming out on a work day, B, for showing up with your daughters and sons, and C, the last request from me here at least, is that give us your feedback. This is just one of many programs we would like to do in terms of education and community service, obviously under the banner of, within the masjid environment to facilitate faith. So give us your feedback. This could very well be the introductory program. We could always do the next level, whether it be intermediary or advanced. We could also do other programming languages as well. But again, we won't be able to do anything without your feedback. So that feedback is critical. It's just as important as participating in this program. So whether you are a student or a parent or even a casual observer or even, yes, a YouTube creator, please give us your feedback. It will help us and it will make us better. Jazakallah from my end. Now I'll give the final closing remarks to Najmal.
I would like to recognize three groups making this program a success. The first group, the individual part of this program. And as you know, this is all voluntary-based operation. Alhamdulillah, as well as their thinking, their thought process, their accomplishments to be better. So all the people involved, the persons that I will contribute this thing correctly, the Arisa, Masha, stand up, please. He's devoted a lot of time, not just the time, but he also organized the program to come up with the maximum benefits for the time given to the program. Just like physical commodity and when you use it properly, it definitely helps more. The second group is a group of instructors, two different, I should say, who just saw on the podium receiving the orders. MashaAllah, they work very hard, and I see that they have a passion for it. They really like to teach as well as learning, because a good teacher is a good learner as well. And the third group, the most important group, the Khalid group, the junior Khalid group, as I would put it, is the people who participated in the program. And I'm certainly honored to be part of such a big group here to say that you were at the masjid that I also belong to. And the youngest one was 12 years old. And mashallah, he also succeeded with writing others. The message I have for all the students, and consider yourself a kind of canvas with just like this wall, you're nothing on it. And at your age, you are free to design whatever you want to design. We hear about people who are special, who are unique, who are the people that get all the recognition. All this happens because they learn to do ordinary things in extraordinary. They are not special in any way. They learn to do ordinary things in extraordinary. And that's what makes them special, extraordinary. And you have that opportunity to become that. And how do you do that? Create a passion
So
for
Shamsunko, he's going to
life.
come at the end, and he's going to say some remarks from one of the students' fathers, as well as that, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
All these students here, they were very passionate about this program. They did not miss a class. And this takes a lot of courage, a lot of interest, and which action. So this level, I'll come back to this campus again, that you have the opportunity to become whoever you want to be. And inshallah, I want to be here one day, and that's what will give me and you good health and life to be here together once again to recognize that. And that will be my pride time. And I would love to see that time coming, that you get recognized in the open platform out there as a very special group of people. The last thing that I would say that please support and listen for the organization. Don't stop. Continue this mission because our mission is to support our community to become that special. I would like to wish you all the best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you help.
Ameen. Now, one last change in plans, I promise. I've just been told by Adan that we are going to have a few words, some feedback, or some few words from one of the fathers of our students, Brother Zishan. So if I could please call Brother Zishan, father of Asma, to the stage, please.
Thanks for accommodating this last meeting of us. Really was coming from the bottom of my heart. Asma was a grade 7 student, 13 years old. She didn't get distracted very easily. So you guys have seen as teachers, probably the 4 hours in the class, I've seen the other side. The rest of the day is in the beats. And I've been part of this community for probably 7, 8 plus years. I've seen many issues. On the academic side, based on what I have witnessed, I can tell you testify, it was one of the best, maybe the best, and very well managed initiative. And to me, the real proof of that is what happens when a student leaves the class. And I've seen her totally engaged, committed, to whatever task she was getting, whatever assignment she was getting, so much so that you are a family in Montreal and at a day full of activities, she comes back at 1 o'clock in the night. And he felt so much compared that I have to do the work, she will be awake at 2 o'clock just to finish the assignment. And that's not about Asma. I think it's a great testimony to Adam and Hafiz Ahmed. The environment they created, a structure they put together, and they were very high level of engagement, they were able to successfully generate amongst all the kids during those 4 weeks. It's very easy to get distracted during summer months, but to maintain such high level of engagement and commitment from such young kids, I think it's a huge accomplishment that you guys can all be proud of. So that's a very proud testimony. I would say from one of the parents, I'm sure the parents will have the same. So thank you so much for this wonderful, I would say, program. My request as a father would be, as we move forward, even during the academic years, if you think of something, I mentioned to Brother Adam as well, even during the school year, something on the weekend, there's a small seeds that we have started. None of these are many, these are not learned or heard or coding or practices. This is their first experience. So this is not become an isolated thing. How can we nurture this class to grow and flourish for me? Jazakallah khair.
Zishan Pai, thank you. Thank you for that unprompted and unscripted acknowledgement and your suggestions. We'll definitely take that to heart. I see a lot of head shaking, and Dr. Najmal has already prompted the instructors and Brother Arif to continue this. So I'll leave it at that. Again, parents, students, give us your feedback. Tell us what you want to learn. Give us your wish list. It is that open canvas you see on the wall here. This institution, or as I guess we've called it now, the Iman Academy, if you notice our website, has always been about faith, education, and community service. This masjid is yours, so make it yours. Tell us what you want, tell us how we can improve, and tell us what you want next. Now, on to our refreshments. Thank you.